This comes to us from Grums on X. He says, you know you have extreme value when even the top pirates are saying, nah, just buy it, bro. There is a very wild situation happening right now with Hollow Knight Silksong and the pricing structure. And something I spoke about the other day about how the developers are all having a collective meltdown about how the game's too cheap. It's making their game look bad because they can't compete with the quality of what Silksong is for the price of what it is. And they're mad that they didn't make the price more than $20. And as we discussed on SNH tonight, Hollow Knight was $15 when it launched. So Silksong actually went up in price $5. But nobody noticed because it's so cheap for what you're getting that pirates that pirate all their games that say, yeah, I just don't buy games. I'm not, it's easier to pirate them. Pirates are saying, you know what? Support the developer. They did the right thing. It's cheap enough. And it kind of reminds me of the whole people were pirating pirating shows and movies when it was inaccessible or too expensive to get them. And then Netflix came in and Netflix was like, hey guys, you can have all these shows. You can get The Office. You can have Lost. You can have all these movies, everything for $6 a month or whatever the hell it was, $5 a month back then when it first started. And people stopped pirating. They're like, I'll just pay the $5 a month. What's the point of pirating all this stuff? It's a fair enough price for the value of, okay, I don't need to worry about dealing with all this stuff with the pirating sites and doing all this. I'll just have it for the convenience of it. And the cost equates for the convenience. All too often in society right now, things are out of whack. And you can even argue with Netflix, Disney Plus, especially Paramount Plus, all these Peacock, all these streaming services have all jacked their prices up so much. And then on top of that, and Amazon as well, on top of that, added advertisements every like 3 minutes while you're watching a show. It's ludicrous from what it used to be to what it is right now. And so now the ebbs of flow of time are passing and people are like, I'll go back to pirating now. It's not worth dealing with this, with the hassle. The convenience is not there anymore. That's the problem that the public is dealing with when it comes to streaming movies and shows. And the reason why I bring that up is because that's what's happening with games right now with Silksong and the $20 for the game. Pirates are saying, it's fine. It's fine. This is on r/piracy. Says, are you guys pirating Silksong? And the post says, I was planning on doing it since every recent game costs around $80. And that's a lot of money for a game. But after the price was revealed to be $20, I thought, damn, that's good. And I'm not pirating it. I want to see if more pirates feel the same. This guy said, I'll probably buy it. Like most here, I pirate for money, but $20 is not a lot. This guy said, apparently, it'll only be like $20 with a 3-person team. I can and will definitely buy it after it's been out a week or two. And honestly, like almost everyone, loved Hollow Knight. It got me into Metroidvania style games. I will end up buying it, if not right away, at some point early on. These guys deserve my money. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is about the price equity value proposition when you're buying something. The greed has taken over the streaming services and game industry and Hollywood, where everyone thinks what they put out there is just worth so much because, they put so much money into it. But at the end of the day, if they sell more of it, they will make more. It's just greed that is driving them. This comes to us from Dexerto. They said, Hollow Knight Silksong has become an instant hit among fans, but it's even won the pirates over, as players who would usually steal games for free are opting to actually buy it instead. After a long 6-year wait, Silksong has finally arrived and players are getting their hands on it. It's off to a strong start too, as it smashed the player count of the original Hollow Knight within minutes and even crashed many storefronts. And a live look right now, let me share this. And the all-time peak 14 hours ago, we have over 500,000 people have been playing this game concurrently. That is insane. That is insane. I again, I expected it to be somewhere between, I don't know, 600 and a million on the first weekend because of the hype, because of everyone talking about this for so long, waiting for it forever. This is still an insane amount of people, especially when you compare it to the original Hollow Knight, which some could argue is a better game overall. I'm not going to try to make that argument yet. I've heard some people say that already that have more experience in Silksong. Hollow Knight's one of my favorite indie games of all time, if not my favorite indie game of all time. I'm currently about 5 hours into Silksong and loving it, like absolutely loving it. So I don't know. I mean, it's like the same game. It really is the same game. It's just a different game world, different main character, but the same. What you wanted, everything's there. I just want more of it. Don't screw up a good thing. Don't mess up what's working. So Silksong is absolutely crushing it in the charts. And what's even crazier is the pirates are not pirating it. One of the key factors behind the success is the price. Despite the lengthy development, Team Cherry are only charging $20, much less than the $70 that AAA games often cost. In fact, the long-awaited sequel is so cheap that even pirates have decided to back the game by buying it. Although Silksong has already been pirated, likely due to lack of DRM on PC, which, by the way, if it's a good enough value, of course, some people are always going to pirate everything no matter what. Everyone knows that. But if you have a good enough value, a buying proposition to your customer, people will want to support you, especially if it makes sense and it's easier and logical and it's more convenient. They will buy the game. The problem is the greed comes in and completely throws that entire equation out of whack. Many members of the Piracy subreddit came out and urged players to purchase it instead. One particular post was flooded with people revealing that they actually plan on spending money on this one. First game I've bought in a while, said one reply. Team Cherry has done so well that even r/piracy members are buying the game, added another. The low price was mentioned often as the main reason behind this change of heart, but also the fact that it's a small development team that has done all the right things in the lead up to launch, which I can agree with. It's a 3 to 4 person team that has done right by their fans at every turn, making sure the PC release is DRM-free, making sure the original backers of Hollow Knight get Silksong free on their choice of platform, said one comment. This is a time where, if we can afford to support them, we should. I will not pirate this game. Team Cherry is a great studio without anti-consumer practices, said another. There are many reasons why players pirate games, whether it's because they don't want to pay full price, want to protest certain AAA practices, or simply want to prove that they can. However, so far, Silksong has even managed to convince many of them to part with their cash. This is like they keep winning, win after win after win for a team of Team Cherry of what, 3 to 4 people. Now, obviously, they worked on this game for 8 years, and before that, there was an even smaller team working on Hollow Knight for many years leading up to that, and now they're reaping the rewards of all their hard work. The fruition of their work is coming home to roost, and I could only imagine the amount of money they're swimming in right now for doing it the right way. But you know who isn't happy about it? Some of the developers. And like I said, I talked about this the other day, but we have some updates. Chibi Reviews says, so let me summarize. Silksong gets sudden release date announcement. They listed as $20 with no pre-order. Journos and indie devs are mad about that. Claims Silksong has done damage to indie studios by being a good product that respects the customer. Permaband says, I feel like ranting about this. You can tell me if I'm wrong about this. Maybe it's just me, but I find it very stupid that so many indie devs and game journals are attacking Hollow Knight Silksong's devs for ... announcing the game's release date 2 weeks in advance instead of longer, and charging players $20 for it and not higher. How Cherry is inconsiderate and horrible for giving other indie devs such short notice window, and how their pricing hurts them. To me, all of this sounds like self-centered, cynical indie game dev politics nonsense. Who are you to decide what someone else does with their creation? If I were a game dev and I finished a game and I'm made and I want to release it, I'll decide how long I want to inform my customer base in advance. It is my game. No other indie click dev gave me help in making it. Again, I reminded how much I dislike the indie TM game scene. They are functionally anything but independent. The same clicks, the same backstabbing, the same throwing each other under the bus. At its core, they are just like corporate game devs, but a different coat of paint. And there is a weird dynamic between game journos and certain indie game developers. And it kind of, you could even argue, dates back to the original Gamergate, where they want to reciprocate by, okay, I'll be cool with you. I'll give you information. I'll give you advanced access. Can you make sure you kind of give me some nice write-ups? You say some good articles. You take a positive spin of what I'm talking about. These are all things that are very hard to prove individually, but taking a step back and looking at the entire field at once, it's pretty obvious that that's what's been happening over the better part of the past 13 or so years. This is some of the developers. Joseph Moran. I think Silksong's 2-week PR push has done some damage to other indie studios. I don't think Team Cherry thought about the impact this game would have on other indies and their marketing. I think that's a bummer, and I hope it isn't replicated, to be honest. Bro, go pound sand. Shut up. Who are you? Go make a game and you do what you want to do. Don't tell another studio how they're allowed to launch a game. What the hell? FaceTime. I can't be the only person who thinks it's kind of effed up for Silksong to reveal its release date so late. Like, man, you're indie developers. You should understand the struggle that studios go through. Bro, again, this is not their concern. Their concern is making sure that their launch is successful, that they get all, like the Chinese language thing was an issue. That's the fire they're looking to put out. They don't give a shit about what their release is going to do damage to your release. That does not even enter their mind, nor should it. Strife, by the way, Team Cherry absolutely had the responsibility of giving a heads up about the release of Silksong and accommodating other indie devs in regards to it. Art isn't made in a vacuum. Yeah, it can be, actually. This is such a communistic Marxist approach of, hey guys, everyone, I'm doing what you do. We all get a loaf of bread at the end of the day. You doing what you did, that puts yourself above me. And that's not okay with the communism we got going in the indie frontier. You're not allowed to do that. You need to work with all of us together. We're on a team together until their game takes off, and then they're going to leave everyone behind, because that's how it always works. Art isn't made in a vacuum. Get out of here. And as indie devs, they absolutely should know how hard it is for other indie devs to be visible. It's extremely challenging. My heart goes out to the passionate indie devs out there that really want their game to be seen. And it's just such a bloated landscape of games out there. Welcome to reality and a very bloated game industry. Either understand the industry you're getting into and move forward with it and don't bitch about it, or do something else. Like, genuinely, that the world does not owe you a successful game. If you want to take the perspective of, as a developer, you owe the game, you owe the world a successful game. Is Hollow Knight Silksong's cheap price a problem for other indie games? Devs and publishers weigh up its impact. The entire situation is beyond absurd. It's one of those stories that I never thought I'd actually have to talk about. The lack of logic from some of these developers is actually impressive. And I'm sure the way it's been going, there'll be even more coping and seething, especially after Team Cherry announces how many copies of Silksong have actually sold. And it's going to start up all over again. And then when their games all fail, they're going to start all up. Oh, they're going to point to Silksong. Oh, Team Cherry. Oh, if it just was different, then our game would have been successful. We all know the real reason is it's just not worth it. That's the problem, that they don't want to acknowledge themselves. But I will leave that one there.